Hey, YouTube. All right. I know it's kind of early for me, considering that I come on later on in the evening. So, hello, two people watching me. I'm eating dinner. Organic salad with some cucumbers, with some potato salad that I bought from Aldi's, which tastes delicious. And this is the country style ribs that I baked in the air fryer steamer with some barbecue sauce on it. All right, I'm gonna wait till y'all come on in. Who's in here anyway? Come here. Make sure you give me the thumbs up. And then I'm gonna start in a minute. Hey, Cola's 85. Give me some food. What? Salad. Look, I'm eating salad. Look. Mm-mm. I got salad, organic salad I bought from the Aldi's. You know the big containers. I have put me some beets. That was in a jar. That was in my pantry. Never opened it, and I just started opening it up. And I cut me some cucumbers and potato salad that I bought from Aldi's. I did not make this one. Yeah. See? Country style ribs that I baked in the air fryer. So yes, this is the protein. And I put just a little bit of honey mustard for the dressing. Not a lot, just a little. So, but if I'm eating, sorry, country style ribs, so lean. So how y'all been doing? I know it's been a minute since I've been on here, but just give y'all some updates. So I just read that they passed a second stimulus, which is $1,200, the same thing they had from before. And now I didn't read the full thing, but they went from $600 a week to cutting it $400. So if you had unemployment and that earlier stimulus from the CARE Act 1, everyone who had unemployment basically ran out. So they only give you unemployment for what, 16 weeks? So in regards to the unemployment portion of the stimulus package, it won't be $600 a week, but it's going to be $200 a week. So it got me thinking. I said, all these jobs and all these companies hiring, working from home positions, customer service, technical support, uh, um, I know some people don't want to work at no fast food places, but every time I drive up and down the road, I've seen positions not hiring, you know. So I said, I knew they wasn't going to give no $600 a week, not the second time around. Nope. I said, ain't no way they're going to do that. Now, I said that it was the best time to look for a job during this season or right before the end of the year. Because every time I check my email with Indeed and even when I was looking on, let me see, it was Indeed. Hey Hogan, Romeo. What's the other one? Career Builder. Yeah, it's a crisis, all right. But mm, let me tell you, Glassdoor. Yep, that's another one. Glassdoor and even the other one, LinkedIn. They had a whole bunch of companies that they said they were hiring, working from home, and they're in desperate need of working for people. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know what's going on with Instacart. I really don't care. But yeah, so I got another job offer. Remember, I was telling y'all I couldn't tell y'all the other company I was working with and who I was working with. So anyway, I resigned last week Friday. It was just too much. I couldn't handle it. And it wasn't so much I couldn't handle it. It was because let me tell y'all. Now I said I wasn't gonna tell y'all, but I was working with Concentrics and the contract they had was Apple. So I was a technical advisor for Apple. Now, I took the job with Concentrics because one, it was trying to gain the experience in terms of technical support with, having the thing on my resume saying I work at an app. I don't work, I work technically with Concentrics. That's my W-2 job. But the client was Apple. So let me tell you, basically, they micromanage too much. And what I mean by that was that they measure you in terms of surveys with customers over the phone. So if you didn't have a 96% customer service satisfaction and you fell beyond that, they put you on they give you like a warning. You know, Then if you didn't do it the second week in a row, you didn't go bring your average up, then it was like a verbal. Then it went to a written. Then it went to termination. So that was just one part of the metrics that they was measuring on. So here it is. I get my quality reviews. You do QA, and then you have Apple themselves directly. How I get a 98 on two other parts of the matrix, but then come around and say, "Oh, the customer determine whether you keep your job." So let me tell you. Oh, I'll get to next rep yet. Let me get to next rep. I'll get to them after I finish with Concentrix with Apple. So anyway, boy, let me tell y'all, it was so stressful. After that, I said, this is a bunch of bullshit here. And I was like, now customers, I was handling people who had the apps, the iTunes and App Store. And people be swearing up and down. They get charged for downloading an app. And they had kids playing these games. Clear as night, it tells you how much it costs. So they'll come in there. They come in there talking about anyone else have access to purchase from the iTunes and App Store? Nobody. I was like, who the fuck is nobody? Because they be swearing their phone be hacked, all kind of nonsense. When fact of the matter is this, people let their kids, and it wasn't always kids that was running up these charges on their phones. It was adults, grown ass adults themselves. So they come and call me, and I'm supposed to go over, oh, I apologize. We're gonna submit your request for refund. Apple's gonna review your eligibility. I did that all day long. That was only because they train you on certain aspects with Apple. So my part was just handling anything dealing with the iTunes App Store issue. So all day from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4:30, maybe 5, because sometimes they will tell you have to work 30-minute overtime to do some overtime. I did that all day. I was getting so, at first, it was going fine, but you know how when you call a company and they say, oh, do you want to take a survey? Now, I had about 70 something surveys done during my time there. And every week, if your average does not go up to a certain matrix, you go to these progressions. So, I get out of nesting, taking calls, and, I get QAs and I get like 188, 90, It was fun on that part. I came to work every day, no issues, no nothing. And then, I don't know. I was on this particular person's team. She so happens to live in Stone Mountain as well. And she was like, okay, every week. They never did no coaching. They always send you an email of all the things they've done, your reviews and everything else. And then you would get surveys. So if I got like 5 people in 1 week respond to a survey, And one person was like not satisfied. They didn't resolve my issue because they didn't get because they didn't get their money. Your whole job was based on some angry, mean ass, stupid ass customers. You know. Now some people I gotta but if you only get 2, 3 surveys in a week and one person gives you not satisfied, it messes up your whole average. But do mind you that um you get surveyed from Apple, then you get a certain and I had like 100, and then then the quality when they listen to your call and they review it, I've gotten, you know, satisfactory on that part. But because of some customers, they didn't give you I didn't go 98, 96% average. That was it. So the team lead I had, first of all, she was already behind in her whole coaching thing. And, you telling me, well, this is the week of, here it is. It was like July. No, the middle of July. And no, the beginning of July, end of June. You going back from weeks because you behind in terms of well, you went up this week. You had 100% of this week, and then this week you had 50 something percent, and so I never really believed it, to be honest. So I didn't like it. I felt it was too micromanaged in regards to basing it on quality of customer surveys because people would call in there. I was waiting on the phone for over an hour. By the time and they always keep stressing during the training and especially when it was in nesting. Remember I was telling you about the other manager I had? I didn't too much care for him. He was like, you have to fix the customer. Fix the customer. If you can fix the customer, both fixing the customer, they didn't care, how gonna they wanted you to fix the customer and thinking that if you fix the customer, they'll give you a good survey. No. If they get charged $600, $50, some people $5, and you tell them, okay, I'll submit your request, Apple's gonna review it, and they make a determination they're gonna give you a refund or not. They've been on the phone waiting for customer service. They already mad and hot. Now, some people I have, they were pretty good. They were like, ooh. And they even told me they got selected for the survey. Oh, and I was like, well, I appreciate that. Because, I don't know who get the survey, who don't. Some people may get the survey, but they not respond. So, every week, they was like, well, you didn't get the 90-something percent, so we got to take you on a written. Then we got to go verbal and all that kind of stuff. So a few weeks ago, I said, you know what? I didn't like it. I did not like it. I was like getting out of bed, even though I literally just have to just get out of bed, go to the next room, sign into my computer. That was getting like a dreadful moment. I was like, So after that, I was like, I didn't like it. It was just driving me crazy. I just couldn't do it. So when she was telling me about I didn't meet my numbers or my matrix, they said and I already knew, that's why I can't deal with some people because she seemed kind of sneaky to me and I didn't really feel like I trust her. I said, so you telling me that if my numbers don't go up, that I could be terminated within 2 weeks? Yeah, so what I did was I put in my termination, but I verbally told them last Saturday. And then I wrote my resignation because, to be honest, I just wanted to be able to kick in with the insurance. So I went to the doctor, got my diabetes medicine, high blood pressure, went to the dentist. I'm going to the dentist Wednesday to get my other part of my other half done. for cleaning, which is not really cleaning. It's going to numb me because I have an infection in my mouth where gum disease, basically. So they have to do period cleaning, which basically involves they go deep into the gum line, not just a regular cleaning. So my insurance ends at the end of the month, which is the 30th. So I've managed to go to the doctor, went to Kaiser, got my medications, and they do everything at Kaiser with the eye exam, and that's really why I said, shoot, I took a position for that company is because of the insurance. And then 90 days I had to wait for insurance. And then on the 90th day, when my insurance kicks in, it basically started um, June, was it June 6th? No, let me see, April, July, the first week of July or whatever it was. That's when it started. So I put in my resignation. I said, nope, I just couldn't. Then I said, either they told me, it didn't make no difference. They said, either you could resign. They didn't even ask me. They didn't even give me the option. They were trying to terminate me. But the thing is, they said I'm rehirable and I could go back to Concentrics with a different project altogether because they have different projects and different positions with different companies. So, and then they said, I said, well, what about on my resume? Do I indicate that I worked at Apple? I can't put that on my resume that I work for Apple. But because I did not work for Apple, I worked at Concentrics. That's just the project I was working on. So, um, I asked them, and I always knew this from the very beginning, from day one, that I always wanted to ask them this question, but I didn't want to really stir the pot. There are like several companies that has Apple as a client. So they said, oh, no. I said, what happens if I go with another company and is working with Apple? They said, oh, Apple doesn't know your employment history. They don't know. So I could work for Apple again with another company if I wanted to. I can't, So if I wanted to work for, say, Kelly Connect or Transcom, or it's so many companies that's under the Apple that has that contract with Apple that I could actually apply for any of these other companies. And then when they say technical advisor, technical support, we supply the computer and all that stuff, that's Apple. So anytime you're looking for a job and it says technical advisor, must have knowledge of app, they will say iOS systems, that's Apple. And that's a position for Apple. They hiring for so many companies for Apple because Apple is literally behind in terms of they needing people. All these companies basically have the same contract with Apple, but they pay differently. The same position that I was doing, another company is paying, they can pay up to $1 more, or sometimes you see $14, $15 an hour. Don't believe it. They always say up to, but that don't mean they're giving you that exact amount. What they do is, if you come in there, you're gonna start off at $13, and then when you finish training, they'll give you $1. It happened to me in my job. I butt heads. But see, it ain't about bumping heads. It's just there's no level of where they say they guide you, they'll help you. When I got in there, they was talking about, oh no, we don't just let people go. We'll work with you. We'll do this and make sure. We don't want people to go. We invested so much money and blah 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 blah. BS. BS. I probably could have just sat back and say, well, but I could have really worked it out and say, well, but I have a 98% average with Apple, well, 100% rather, and I also have QA of a 90 something. How is a bunch of angry customers that you got to help calm them down? It ain't about calming them down because they come in there already mad and they basing your survey on their feelings with Apple, not so much on you as a representative. If they already got a problem with charges that their children did, and and they can't seem to control their kids about purchasing from the iTunes and App Store, and you're not telling them, oh, I'll give you a refund, or you got approved for a refund, or whatever the case may be, or whatever, they're not really gonna give you a good survey, especially depending on how they acted from the beginning. You know, all that fixing the customer and this and that, and if they're mad already and they stay mad and you could do everything you could do and they says, well, I appreciate you, they're not gonna some of the people are not gonna either do the survey or you get 3 surveys that week. How in the world is it you get two 100s and one person says no, not satisfied? That messes up your whole average. And that was, to me, that was stupid to me. So, but I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. And I caught myself saying, you know what? I hate this job. I hate it. I'm moving on. I couldn't stand it. It wasn't, I just didn't like it. I just couldn't take it. So I didn't know what, I just didn't like it. I didn't like working for, oh, I'll get to next rep. Hold your horses with that one. So next rep, I go to log on. Not this past Friday. Was it this past Friday? Yeah, I want to say it was this past week, or maybe it was the previous week. So I go up there to log on. It tells me invalid username and password, and I couldn't get in the system for over a week and a half. And I sent them a message with technical support or whatever saying it's saying, well, let me log in. I ain't hear nothing from them since. And I ain't getting no message. I just signed maybe 2 weeks ago. I signed the 6 month contract renewal. And remember I told y'all in the beginning, when I was getting a lot of calls and I was making like 600, 700. Man, after a month, it was like 200 something. That's every 2 weeks. Then it went down to like 100 and something every 2 weeks. One time I was on the phone doing my required 10-hour minimum on the weekends. I was logged on for 5 hours. I only had an hour of talk time. I was like, but you only get paid when you're talking. So I was like, what? They started, NextRec is in competition with another company called Livebox. They get the same kind of calls for those infomercials. So they said that they lost the call volume going to the competition because they as a whole wasn't making the requirements. So all of a sudden it dried up. I was like, oh my God, really? Dried up. And oops, Romeo, you waiting on me? Hold on a second. Oh, I thought Romeo was coming on. Let me put my link. So all of a sudden, I was like, dang, all that money, and because you only get paid based on your talk time. So all of a sudden, I didn't hear anything from them. I sent the messages. I didn't get no response. You know, I clicked on. I had these user errors, so you can't. So I said, forget it. I said, I'm not. If it's going to take that long to respond in terms of what's going on with the system, I don't know what happened. So I don't know. But anyway, but let me tell y'all the update. I'll be working with Amazon again, not the regular Amazon independent contractor, but on one of the Facebook groups, there was a position for Amazon, and I have Amazon Prime. So I was on there. I said, let me see what kind of things they got going on. So I applied for Amazon, and I'll be starting working in Duluth, not the what I was doing 3 years ago, sorting and all that, not that hard labor's work. So I'll be working for Amazon Wednesday through Saturday from 6 p.m. till 4:30, 5:30, 4:30 or 5:30. I want to say 5:30. Doing the groceries part. So I don't know exactly what I'll be doing, but I'll be doing the groceries, not when people order groceries on Amazon and Amazon Prime and people order stuff, that's what I'll be doing. So I'll start this Wednesday at 6 o'clock, but I already did all the paperwork. I did all the orientation online. I had to do something over the, I did all these lessons online. So it was like 9 hours or 10 hours online training. So I get paid for that. So I already did that over the weekend. So I'll be working with Amazon again. Now, it's considered seasonal, just like it was a few years ago when I was seasonal. But when I had resigned, yeah, it's paid $15 an hour. But let me tell you about my experience. Let me tell you what the thing I had to go with Amazon. Amazon was hiring for East Point, which was a sortation associate. I said, hell no. I already knew what that was. I was like, mm-mm. And then they had the other location, which was up there in Brazelton and Jefferson, Georgia. So I applied. They had openings with both those locations. So I applied for both and it got accepted. And then they said, oh, you worked at Amazon before. They had to check to see if you're rehireable. So they said, I'm rehireable because when I left Amazon a few years ago, I resigned. I didn't get fired or nothing. So I resigned. So I'm eligible to be rehired. Just like Concentrix, I'm eligible to be rehired again with Concentrix with a different project. So I'll be working with Amazon come Wednesday, but I'll be the one processing those groceries when people order groceries online. Not for Whole Food, but the other when you so I'll be doing that. Now, when I applied at Amazon, they changed a whole lot in regards to schedules. You can work for Amazon now. Anybody who's working doing these food apps and all that stuff, y'all better consider about going to work for Amazon, even if it's they had two choices. See, what I did was I chose a set schedule because I wanted 40 hours. And I chose they had all these different schedules. And then they had one where you could choose a schedule every 2 weeks. You could work when you want to. So I didn't understand that. I was like, you mean work when you want to? How many hours you gonna get? So I didn't do that. So, but Amazon is hiring. I applied, and it was between the two locations. So I had an appointment in the beginning of the week to go to Brazelton, and then another one popped up, which was in Duluth. Now Duluth is only 30 minutes from me, and I know where it is. So I didn't want to go to 55 minutes an hour to go to Jefferson, Georgia, or go to East Point, because So I said, well, then when the other position location came up, I chose that one. I said, oops, let me choose that location, Duluth. I know where it is. It's a straight shot. You know, I'm not trying to. I didn't choose the hours during the daytime because I said, nope, I'm not trying to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning to be there at 9. I said I'd rather do it at 6 p.m. and do it in the evenings. So that's the hours and the days that I chose. Then they had where you could choose. You didn't have no specific schedule. You make up your own schedule, but you have to do it every 2 weeks. You pick up the hours and say, okay, say you wanted to work like 3 hours a day. No, 3 days a week, 4 hours a day, and you choose whatever hours you want to work. So I didn't really understand that at first when they had put it out there like that. So I was going back and forth with where I wanted to work at in terms of location. But then I had a former coworker who worked with me at CGS. She just got fired. I called her and said, girl, guess what? I'm going to be working at Amazon. And then I was asking her about Jefferson. She said, girl, you don't want to work over there. Oh, don't worry. Those people over there is way out in the country up in Georgia. A little redneck. She was like, no, you ain't going to like that. You got a mouth like me. They're going to piss you off and da-da-da-da. And they fired her because she wasn't coming to work. I was like, well, goddamn, Renee. So when she told me that, I had to consider. I said, I said, if it's gonna be like that, and I said, what's the other facility like? So it's basically the same thing, hustle, bustle, real big. So I was like, nah. So then when Duluth came around, and it said it was the groceries, I said, okay. I said I could go to Duluth, and I could choose a set schedule, and that's what I chose. So I haven't started yet. I'm supposed to start on Wednesday. But I have came across another job that I just got. I accepted another position earlier today. And some of y'all know what it is, but I'm not going to mention it right now. But it is not one of those IBO companies or one of those third party companies or whatever. But this position starts at the end of August 31st, with benefits from day one. It pays a little bit more than Concentrix, and it is a huge company. It's y'all know the company if I mention it, but I don't think I'm gonna mention it right now. I'm not gonna say it right now. Some of y'all I told, but I did get the offer today, so I'm pretty stoked about that. But it'll be working from home, so I'll be going working from home with this company, and it's not one of those CGS, Wipro, Sykes or whatever the name is, or CGS. It's not one of those. Nope, no way, no how. So, but anyway, that's what's been up with me. But I did go to another company called Sykes. They hiring. I went to the information session today, and they must have changed their mind because it was only full time at first. And I was like, don't they have something part time? So now they have full time and part time. So um, they hiring and they start the middle of August. But I didn't submit anything yet. But I know if I submit it, I'll probably get hired. But they don't pay that much. But if it's something part-time, I may consider it. I don't know yet because I got too many jobs already. Too many. So I don't know what's going on with NextRep. I don't know why something broken and I can't. I haven't got no email about it. I can't log on. They didn't even. They didn't say, "Oh, you fired or we terminated your contract." Nothing. Not a thing. So, but I just think that rather than they letting people know what's going up, but I should have known when they started saying they were going to lose their position with the other company, and all of a sudden you're sitting there for 5 hours and you only get an hour of talk time. I wasn't doing anything. I was like, dang. I said, how I went from, and how it was really good. It was really good was because the first 3 weeks or a month, if I was logged on for 5 hours total, I had at least 4 hours and 45 minutes, 50 minutes of talk time. And it went down from, no, not Sykes. I don't work for Sykes. Sykes is the other company that's hiring big time too. So the thing is, you have to make sure you have the computer requirements. But I would tell y'all about the other company, but I'm not gonna say it right now. All I know is um it's pretty good. But yep. So that's been going on, If I decide to go back to Concentrics in the future, maybe. And I forgot, I did work at Concentrics years ago, but I never started. I think I started at one day, or not even that whole day. And, but they had me in the system at one point. But, that's pretty much it. I ain't watching nothing to talk about. All right. I'm not going to make this long video, a long thing. I'm tired. And it's only 4 y'all remaining. All right. I guess I'll talk to y'all later. Maybe I'll come on later on tonight. I'm not sure. All right. Talk to y'all later. Have a good one. If you like the video, please subscribe.